Some gold spray.
Today we got Andre Garrett from the Clifton Hotel. And then last but by no means least,
chocolate and
at 2
cardamom
o'clock
sorbet.
today, we got Mark Abbott.
On a piece
Mark
of decoration.
is the head chef of
and there we have
Two
the
Michelin
Purnell
Star
Millionaire
Midsummer
chocolate
House.
tart.
Any of you watched Great British Menu, you'll be familiar with Mark because Mark was in the final. And Mark's going to be doing the dish that he cooked on Great British Menu for us today at 2 o'clock. So we've got an amazing lineup of chefs. Lots and lots of things to get through today. It's going to be a busy day, but a fun day.
Hi, my name is Luke Butcher. I'm the sous chef and pastry chef at Purnell's restaurant. Today I'll be showing you how to make my Millionaire's chocolate tart. Start by lining the tart case. Here we've got some sweet pastry. I like to make sure it's rested and rolled out.
Lots of the chefs drinking out of StaffCanteen mugs. Here's Mr. Garrett. All right, chef. You'll see lots of the chefs drinking out of StaffCanteen mugs that are here. My advice, if you want to get your hands on one of those, ask a question. Okay? Well, you'll find we're very favourable. People who ask questions get mugs.
Then we're going to make a nice amber caramel. Rested and rolled out.
Okay, so we've got 14 minutes. Come on in. There's only a few spaces left. A couple of spaces in the front row. If anyone wants to come in. Glynn's going to be doing a monkfish and masala dish. Anybody here eating at Purnell's? Yes? How was it? Really nice is the correct answer.
Rested and rolled out.
I have a man talking in my ear. Put Luke's video on again. Cheers. Right, chef?
Hi, my name is Luke Butcher. I'm the sous chef and pastry chef at Purnell's restaurant. Today I'll be showing you how to make my Millionaire's chocolate tart. Start by lining the tart case. Here we've got some sweet pastry. I like to make sure it's rested and rolled out for at least 24 hours in advance. Gently folding in. Just trim, gently roll. Now just pop that into the fridge to rest for about half an hour. Now we're going to make the salted caramel. Start by infusing the vanilla pod into the cream. When the pan's nice and warm, drop the glucose and first batch of sugar in. And then we're going to make a nice amber caramel. And then we're going to start to see the colour change. And then we can add a second batch of sugar. Just remove the vanilla pod from the cream. 5 to 6 minutes, you should have the colour you want on the caramel. So now you continuously stir, make sure all the sugar is dissolved. You're now going to pour in the warm cream and vanilla mixture. For a minute, put salt on top of the butter. Allow the butter, cube by cube, whilst continuously whisking. Emulsify the butter in. Now we're going to make the moist chocolate sponge, which will form the second layer of the chocolate tart. So we'll start by sieving the flour and cocoa powder together. We can add our salt, our bicarb, and the baking powder. Now add this to our mixing bowl. The final dry ingredient, which is the sugar. And we'll start slowly mixing this in the electric mixer with the paddle attachment. Crack the eggs, ready for the wet mix. We'll add these to the buttermilk, which gently. And we add our cold brewed coffee at low speed. We'll add the wet mix. We'll add the melted butter, slowly pouring down the side. Make sure the whole mix is fully combined. So now we're going to put this into a preheated oven, which is on 50% steam. So now we're going to make the chocolate and cardamom sorbet. We're going to crush the cardamom pods in the pestle and mortar. Pour the water. Now we have the sugar. And finally the cardamom pods. Bring up to the boil. and then we'll leave the cardamom in there just to infuse for a good half an hour to get all the flavours going through. So we'll put the cocoa powder with the 70% dark calabash chocolate. We'll pour through a chinois the infused stock syrup. Pour this mixture into our ice cream containers. Okay, now with all my ice creams and sorbets, I like to put them in the fridge for a minimum 4 hours so they age, mature, and the flavour develops before we put them in the freezer. Okay, so now I'm going to temper some of the 70% chocolate, 160 grams of chocolate on a bain-marie. Then we add in the second part of the chocolate, and we mix that. Now we've cooled it down, 28 degrees, back on, bain-marie. Heats back between 30 and 32, that'll be our working temperature for the dark chocolate. Now the chocolate's at the correct working temperature. Pour it onto the acetate sheets and sheet on top. Nice even distribution of the chocolate. It's not too thin, not too thick in some areas. 10 minutes to set, and then we shall cut it out into the discs. Okay, so now the chocolate cake is ready. We'll leave this for half an hour before we take off the mould, and then we're going to press it in between two trays with a little weight on top of it just to make it nice and flat, easy to cut out, and we'll have a nice perfect disc. Okay, so now we're going to start by cutting out a disc. So we put the first layer of the tartlet, which is the salted caramel. We put one small dot in the centre of the serving plate. Put the moist chocolate sponge. Okay, now we decorate the tempered chocolate disc with some gold spray. Top of the tart. Chocolate and cardamom sorbet. Final piece of decoration. And there we have the Purnell's Millionaire's chocolate tart. Hi, my name is Luke Butcher. I'm the sous chef and pastry chef at Purnell's restaurant. Today I'll be showing you how to make my Millionaire's chocolate tart. Ready? Start by lining the take off the mould, and then we get some sweet pastry. I like to make sure it's rested and rolled out for at least 24 hours in advance. Gently fold it in, just trim, gently roll. Now just pop that into the fridge to rest for about half an hour. Now we're going to make the salted caramel. Start by infusing the vanilla pod into the cream. From the pan, drop the glucose and first batch of sugar in. And then we're going to make a nice amber caramel. And then we start to see the colour change. And then we can add a second batch of sugar. Just remove the vanilla pod from the cream. 5 to 6 minutes. Drop the glucose and the colour you want on the caramel. So now you're going to make a nice stir and make sure the sugar is dissolved. You're now going to pour in the warm cream and vanilla mixture. For a minute, salt on top of the butter. Allow the butter and the baking powder. Now add this to our mixing bowl. The final dry ingredient, which is the sugar. And we start slowly mixing this on the electric mixer with the paddle attachment. Crack the eggs ready for the wet mix. And we'll add these to the buttermilk, whisk gently. And we add our cold brewed coffee at low speed. We'll add the wet mix. We'll add the melted butter, slowly pouring down the side. Make sure the whole mix is fully combined. So now we're going to put this into a preheated oven, which is on 50% steam. So now we're going to make the chocolate and cardamom sorbet. We're going to crush the cardamom pods in the pestle and mortar. Pour the water. Now we have the sugar. And finally, the cardamom pods. Bring it up to the boil. And then we'll leave the cardamom in there just to infuse for a good half an hour to get all the flavours going through. So we'll put the cocoa powder with the 70% dark calabash chocolate. We'll pour through a chinois the infused stock syrup. Pour this mixture into our ice cream containers. Okay, now with all my ice creams and sorbets, I like to put them in the fridge for a minimum 4 hours so they age, mature, and the flavour develops before we put them in the freezer. Okay, so now I'm going to temper some of the 70% chocolate, 160 grams of chocolate on a bain-marie. Then we add in the second part of the chocolate and mix that. Now we've cooled it down, 28 degrees, it's back on, bain-marie. Heats back between 30 and 32, that'll be our working temperature for the dark chocolate. Now the chocolate's at the correct working temperature. Pour it onto the acetate sheets and sheet on top. Nice even distribution of the chocolate. It's not too thin, not too thick in some areas. 10 minutes to set, and then we shall cut it out into the discs. Okay, so now the chocolate cake is ready. We'll leave this for half an hour before we take off the mould, and then we're going to press it in between two trays with a little weight on top of it just to make it nice and flat, easy to cut out, and we'll have a nice perfect disc. Okay, so now we're going to start by cutting out a disc. So we put the first layer of the tartlet, which is the salted caramel. We've got one small dot in the centre of the serving plate. On top of the caramel, put the moist chocolate sponge. Okay, and then we decorate the tempered chocolate disc with some gold spray. Top of the tart. Chocolate and cardamom sorbet. Final piece of decoration. And there we have the Purnell's Millionaire's chocolate tart.
Get us on Twitter at Canteen Tweets. If you want to use the hashtag on any social media, TSC Live. Okay, if you hashtag it, we've got a team that will try and pick that up, retweet it. If you want to follow Glynn on Twitter, he's at Yummy
Hi,
Brummy.
my name's
You'll
Luke
find him
Butcher.
on Twitter.
I'm the sous chef and pastry chef at Purnell's restaurant. Today I'll be showing you how to make my Millionaire's chocolate tart. Start by lining the tart case. Here we've got some sweet pastry. I like to make sure it's rested and rolled out for at least 24 hours in advance. Gently folding in. Just trim, gently roll. Now just pop that into the fridge to rest for about half an hour. Now we're going to make the salted caramel. Start by infusing the vanilla pod into the cream. When the pan's nice and warm, drop the glucose and first batch of sugar in. And then we're going to make a nice amber caramel. And then we're going to start to see the colour change. And then we can add a second batch of sugar. Just remove the vanilla pod from the cream. For 5 to 6 minutes, you should
Okay, we're just doing a final sound checks out the back.
So now you continuously stir, make sure all the sugar
Glynn and Luke,
dissolves.
come on in, grab a seat.
Pour in the warm
If there are any
cream
seats,
and
all
vanilla
the seats
mixture.
are taken out, so come on in. Glynn's going to be
minute.
cooking.
Salt on top of the butter, lay out the butter. Cube by
Lucy's
cube.
going to be scanning
whilst
you.
continuously
If we can
whisking,
just scan your badges.
emulsify the butter in.
If you allow us to scan your badge, we'll
Now
enter
we're
you
going to
into a
make the
competition
moist
to win
chocolate
this
sponge,
book,
which will form the
here,
second layer of the chocolate tart.
which is
Start
by
sieving the flour and cocoa powder
a
together.
chef from the Netherlands called Jonny Boer. He's got
Now
3
our
Michelin
salt,
stars,
bicarb,
and he works
the
in
baking
a
powder.
restaurant called De La Bergier
Now add this
in
to our mixing bowl.
Zwilly in Belgium. The Netherlands, my apologies.
The final dry ingredient, which is
All of the
sugar.
names are going to a hat. We'll draw you out. If you win, you get to take the book away. So please let us scan you. Okay, so we are just a couple of minutes away. We will start exactly at 11 o'clock because we're live streaming it onto our Facebook page. If you want to go onto our Facebook page, there's the live stream there. So we will be live streaming it onto our Facebook page and onto our YouTube channel. Okay. If you want to tweet it during the show, please take lots of pictures. Tweet us.
Make sure the whole mix is fully combined.
Put the hashtag TSC Live. We'll try and
Now,
retweet
we're
it.
gonna put this to a preheat oven,
Please
which
use
is
the
on 50%
hashtag for
steam.
us.
So now
If
we're
you're on
gonna make the
Instagram
chocolate
as well,
cardamom
use the
sorbet. We're gonna crush
hashtag
the
TSC
cardamom pods
Live.
in the pestle and mortar.
And again, we'll try and
With
retweet
water.
it.
Now we have the sugar.
Okay, so as we're kicking off at 11.
Cardamom pods bring up to the boil, and then we'll leave the cardamom in there just to infuse for a good half an hour to get all the flavours going through. So we'll put the cocoa powder with the 70% dark Calabar chocolate. We'll pour.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
the infused stock syrup.
thank you all very much for your
Pour
patience.
this mixture into our ice cream containers.
So,
Okay,
please,
now with all my
put your hands
ice cream
together.
sorbets, I like
Birmingham's
to put them in the
finest,
fridge
Mr.
for a
Glynn
minimum of 4
Purnell.
hours so they age, mature, and the flavour develops before we put them in the freezer. Okay, so now I'm going to temper some of the 70% chocolate.
Luke Butcher.
And this is my right-hand man. Without him, I wouldn't be
in
here today.
second part of
As in
chocolate.
physically here today, because I'd still be in bed. Well, okay.
Now
They've
cool
talked
it down.
about it already, haven't they? Jesus
They are,
Christ.
they are.
28 degrees.
Okay, don't start yet
Back on.
because we just got a minute to
Same
go
ring.
before we kick the
Back
live
between
stream
30
off.
and 32.
All right.
That'll be our working
So this is
temperature
tense,
for the
isn't
dark
it? What are we going to do for a minute?
Now the chocolate's at the
Huh?
correct
So
working temperature.
I think you should be the
Pour
host
onto
of
the
Saturday
aspect
Kitchen.
sheets.
Do you?
Yeah.
Shoot on top.
All right. Does anybody else think that?
Evenly distribution of the chocolate.
Oh, there's 4 people.
Thin,
Come on.
thick,
There's like a bit of
semi-
support. No, yeah,
10
Saturday Kitchen was.
Set.
I never thought I'd ever host it. And when you do host
Okay,
it,
so now the
do you know
chocolate
like
is
that
ready. We
time
leave
in
this
your
for
life
half
when
an
you
hour
stand there,
before
so
we, take
you
off
do all the
mold,
rehearsals
we're
and
gonna
then
press
it
in
comes
between
on
two trays.
and then you hear the music.
It's a weight on top
And all of a sudden you just go
make
out.
it nice and flat, easy to cut out, and we'll have
Literally, you
nice
feel like you're going to throw up.
Okay,
It's
so now
like,
we're
but then
gonna
once you
cutting
start,
out this.
it's like a runaway train.
So
You just got
the first layer.
to keep going for it.
Tartlet.
But it's, the adrenaline is
Salted
fantastic. I
caramel.
mean,
Got
the
one
program
small
itself's
dot
been
in
going
the
now
centre of
for
the serving
10
plate.
years. So
Top of the caramel.
I'm a chef at the end of the day, and
Moist
I run
chocolate
restaurants,
sponge.
and that's what I do.
Decorate the
So
tempered
it's not
chocolate disc
something I was going to
with
say,
gold
well,
spray.
okay, I'm gonna keep hosting it. So I'll do it every now and again. But for me, it's the restaurant is
Chocolate and
where we're
cardamom
at.
sorbet.
Is that right, Luke?
Exactly.
Luke does
Piece of
talk, by the way.
decoration.
Okay,
And there we have
right.
the Purnell's
Sorry. It is now officially 11 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Staff Canteen Live. Give us a big wave. We're going out live on Facebook. Say hello. Ladies and gentlemen, Glynn Purnell, Luke Butcher. What are you cooking, chef? Off you go.
Okay then, guys. Hello, Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so actually this is where I started my career. I came here washing up, making sandwiches, and then I got the apprenticeship at the Metropole, so to be back on the stage is quite nice. So we're going to do a dish which I did on the Great British menu. It's a signature dish, and it's been on the menu now since 2008. I did another version of it in my first restaurant at Jessica's. So it's, yeah, I can't take it off, because when I do take it off, people just kick off. You know, they walk through the door, they say, haddock and eggs, creme brulee in an eggshell, and monkfish masala. And I try and put it off different menus, and I put it, you know, so people just constantly want it. It's great to have signatures. And your mum, what's your name? This is Andrew, my assistant. You're like Debbie McGee, would you say? Okay, he doesn't even know who Debbie is. Right, and so the dish is monkfish masala. Again, I say it won on the Great British menu. It was the it was for the troops, and the brief was
cube by cube.
You know, what would you, if you was a soldier, what would you want to come home for? What reminds you of home and stuff? And then for me, obviously, you know, Birmingham, curry, spices. You know, that was one of the first times I got taken out for a meal, which was at the Falcon in Ward End, which I believe is still there. I mean, don't get me wrong, it weren't the Ritz. Right. So it was like, used to go in there, my mum and dad used to go in there, we used to have like, my dad would have 4 cans of lager, mum would have a bottle of tiger milk. Not that you should milk a tiger, it's wine.
The eggs ready for
What's wrong with them today? They're all too young, they don't know what tiger milk is today.
It's Monday.
So you'd sit down there and you'd smell it, and you sort of, you knew what you're going to have. So you'd have a balti, which you'd be served
low speed
in one of these. And you come out and you land in front of you, and the first thing the guy would say to you, don't touch the dish. So what do?
The melted butter.
You touch the dish, don't you?
Pouring down the
so
side.
all brummies, proper brummies, yeah, like me, should have some sort of little scar somewhere. So that means like, that's like your passport, Ace. It's like a birthmark. You're right. It's my balti burn. And then you get like what I call you get the table naan. So don't do them so much anymore. Table naan. So you come out and literally would be like a bread duvet, just like they bring this big duvet out. And you just slap it on the table, and you're not supposed to use knives and forks, you're supposed to use your fingers and eat it like that. So this dish is homage to that, really. So we've got the monkfish, which we've cooked. So the monkfish here. So this has been, we were going to bring all the fish and do it all as it is, but it was a bit too long a process to do that. So the monkfish has been salted, which is salted for about 6 to 8 minutes with really big, thick industrial salt. Then we wash it off, and then we roll it in tea towels, and then we cook it. We don't use it to the day after. So what we're going to do is extract all the moisture. So what happens is, because the meat, the flesh becomes tighter, the spices stay on it, and it becomes drier. So the spices will stay on it. If you use it with fresh monkfish and try and roll it in the spice, as you cook it, most of it will fall off. So cooking it sous vide, which sometimes, when I had it on at Jessica's, we used to roast it on the bone. And obviously now it's so busy, and just this system works. I mean, we use many techniques at Purnell's, from classical to sort of modern techniques. So we don't alienate ourselves or just do one or the other. So we just use whatever's best for that.
Do the chefs have to have tattoos?
No, but you have to have these massive guns. That's what you have. Hey, you like that one, don't you? Hey? I'll see you afterwards. No, they don't have to have tattoos. They don't have to have beards. You know, they just want to be me. Huh? Is that right, Luke?
Yeah, when they start clean shaven, and then within 6 months, they've all got beards and tattoos.
Yeah, you should see the girl on the
so
pastry.
Luke, talk us through what you're doing, please.
Okay, so I'm just getting the Vadavan carrot glaze on.
The what, sorry?
The Vadavan carrots. So Vadavan is a masala spice mix.
Okay.
French.
Mm-hmm.
And we use that for, it's just a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah. So Vadavan is it's a French masala mix, whereas masala mix is a dry one. The Vadavan, the French one, has got wet ingredients in as well. So it's got curry leaves in there. It's got garlic, onions, and it's quite moist. It's almost like wet tobacco, and it's got cinnamon. It's got ginger, gram masala. So it's got all of the usual suspects you would use in a masala mix. The masala mix we use on so the Vadavan is cooked in like a French masala mix and stock. And the monkfish masala mix is my own mix. I'd say it's a secret, but it's in the book, so I can't say that. I've said to people before, if you can guess all of the ingredients in the masala mix, you get a free meal. I'd be shut by now. Right, so we've got that. So the carrots have been cooked. So Luke's going to bring them down in that. Here we have, is this on, Luke, yeah?
Yes, on, yeah.
Yeah, so we have like a dal, so like a red lentil dal. So basically that's really simple. It's just onions, garlic, sweat those down. A really mild curry powder, because obviously we've got so many complex spices in the fish and the carrots that the lentils need to almost be a little bit neutral. So we just use a really light, medium heat curry powder, and then basically just add stock. And the thing with red lentils, 1 minute they're raw, next minute, bang, they'll be like a puree. I mean, a lot of Indian restaurants will serve them. They actually serve it almost like a sauce, so it's cooked completely down. So our young chef here from the College of Food, he's chopping some coriander and some chilies, which will go into that. On here we have, on the Great British menu we did a coconut reduction, which was just basically coconut, lime, and just to bring it down. And that was just, again, just to sort of like split the flavours. But this time now we do like a coriander one, so we do a reduction. What are the 4 spices in there, Luke, now?
I remember off the top of my head.
So there's that many spices going.
Yeah.
I feel like Atul Kutcher. Do you know my name is Glynn Patel, not Purnell? You know that?
You've got cardamom and black pepper in there.
Cardamom and black pepper, which is a zorg spice. That's like a Middle Eastern spice. So we bring that down with the coconut, and then just when it gets to the right consistency, we throw in the coriander, and then we just cook it very quick, and then we blast it in the thermo, and then we get this beautiful sort of green coriander sauce that goes with it, which again gives it another complexity. And coriander can be a bit harsh, so with the coconut it really sort of smooths it out, and it gives it a really sort of smooth consistency. So the lentils are coming down. Should we get the fish on, Luke?
Yeah, the fish is on.
Glynn, obviously Purnell's is hugely successful here in Birmingham, and you're a staunch Brummie. Do you think you could take Purnell's elsewhere to another city?
I mean,
or would you want to?
I wouldn't want to be honest with you. I like visiting London and leaving, to be honest with you. I mean, London's a fantastic city, but Birmingham is, well, it's the centre of the universe for one, isn't it? And for me, it's where I'm from, and I feel comfortable there. It's my life. I like the people. I mean, I've thought we're thinking about doing a pop-up, maybe next year in London, and that's purely because Purnell's is 10 years old in July.
As an exclusive, Cara.
So I think maybe thinking about doing a couple of weeks in London, and because
you can probably borrow one of Jason's restaurants.
Probably, yeah, or a few of your chefs as well. Right, so apparently the brief for the Great British menu's out. They're going to cook on a plate this year. Just sort of say that. There's nothing like suspending food from the air, isn't there? But the big question is, does it fit the brief? Yeah. Are you happy with that?
I'm happy with that, chef, yeah.
What would you give yourself? Oh, give myself 4. Right, oil, Luke.
What are we doing, Luke?
Okay, so just as Glynn was talking about the carrots, we cook the carrots in the Vadavan spice liquor before, then we take the carrots out as they're just cooked, otherwise you'll overcook them. Then reduce the liquor down to get a bit more intense flavour in there, and then we're just going to put the carrots back in. Just to get them warm, really, in their cooking liquor.
What are you doing, Mr. Purnell?
Just having a little discussion on the chilies.
On Brimwas?
So just a little bit finer, because what you want to do is you want them to dissolve.
And what's that there, Luke? What's the puree?
So this is the Zorg coriander and coconut mix there. We use that just to finish the plate with, and then in the restaurant we send it out a little jug on the side because everyone likes a bit more sauce, and we don't like to be too tight.
Absolutely.
That's on, chef. Yeah, that's going to get really hot. Trust me.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to come and eat at Purnell's, what do they have to do? Book online?
Book online, all that sort of stuff. And weekends is obviously more difficult, but yeah, business is really good at the minute as well. And it's great. The Birmingham food scene is fantastic, which, when I opened Jessica's in 2003, we were twinned with Lyon, the city. And it was embarrassing because Lyon is the centre of gastronomy and Birmingham was basically a shithole. So what is great now is that we're the culinary centre now, aren't we? I mean, you obviously got London, which is fantastic, but for Birmingham to be, with the most Michelin stars, it's not just about the Michelin stars, it's about the bar culture. I mean, I opened a cocktail bar 5-6 years ago, and if you'd have said that to me again, the only cocktail that Brummie would have is called a Redditch Sunrise, which is basically a pint of Tia Maria with an ice cube. But the thing is, I'll just warn you, after 2, you ain't getting up. So now we've got things like called mixologists and all that sort of stuff. So it is fantastic. Right, okay, so the monkfish has been cooked for about 18-20 minutes.
What temperature did we cook that on, chef?
65 degrees.
Yeah, between 63 and 65, depending on how busy the night is when it starts overloading. So that's been cooked. So you can see we're cooking it sous vide and salting it. The meat is very, very firm. and the spice is completely all the way around. Whereas, you know, if you try and roll it in spice as it's wet, like I said earlier, half of it will fall off, half of it will be in the pan. But this is completely all the way around, and that's exactly what you want. And you don't want the over large monkfish as well, because you've got to think about the amount of spice around the outside of the fish to the fish inside. So if it's a massive piece, you're not going to get enough spice. If it's too small, there's going to be too much spice. So we work on that sort of. Is that pan about to explode?
About to, yeah.
Has anyone got any questions for Luke?
Luke is actually a pastry chef, by the way. You know that?
That's why I cut the butter up, because that's what I'm used to. All this spice is not there.
Anyone got any questions for Glynn?
No, see, it's Monday. It's 20 past 11, and
hold on.
What's that? Sorry.
Sorry. If you can just tell Glynn your name and then ask the question.
My name is Andrew Jennings, right? I'm also a chef now.
Okay.
I also trained with Alistair Little.
Oh, Alistair Little. I did a week with Alistair Little. Yeah. Fantastic.
What the question I'm going to ask is that you're using monkfish there. Could you get away with using salt cod?
The best, all big white fish, wreck fish, so pollock, ling, cod, some sort of large pout, all big white fish. You can use the same technique. So we salt all our fish. So we've got cod on at the moment, and you get a really nice cooking degree. So you cook it, and you break it open. You can almost see almost like a rainbow fleck in it. Cool. So you salt it, 6 to 8 minutes for most fish about that thick, really.
Okay, does that answer your question? Thank you.
Right, so roasted the monkfish off. How's those? Are they fine? Well, you're telling me they're fine, or shall I check whether they're fine? Oh, we'll check them. Yeah, you know. Yeah, cool.
18 minutes.
Nice one. 18 minutes. We're ready to go, anyway.
Do another take.
No more questions? No more questions?
Anyone got any questions?
No.
There must be a question out in the audience somewhere.
They're all shy, you see.
No hands?
Walking around the show like with your badges on. Hey, where's the questions? Where's our badge, anyway? Right, so the monkfish, again, so you don't want to over-colour the monkfish. So this is now, you know, when some people toast off spices to make stuff. I mean, because it's been cooked in the bag. Can I use that to drop that on?
Yeah.
Glynn, while you're doing that, I mean, obviously, we spoke earlier about a Saturday kitchen. Yeah. And I know you mentioned you run a restaurant as well. But the modern chef, how important is now the media to the modern chef?
It's really difficult because when you get a Michelin inspection, you get customers or whatever, and they say, oh, it's Glynn in, and I'm there all the time. But you have to now. It's really important to dedicate that little bit of time with the media, because there's so much competition, there's so much out there, and it's about just keeping the restaurant in people's minds. You know, so to be in the kitchen all the time and try and do the media is very difficult, and it's. You know, it's the right sort of media you got to look at as well. It's no good just turning up and rocking on Ready, Steady, Cook, because that's not going to sell. It's not going to sell the restaurant. That clientele is going to do. But Great British Menu is great. I did Great Food Revival, which was a BBC program, which was great, and the Saturday Kitchen is also great.
Yes, yeah, no worries.
We got a plate over here now, are we? All right. Yeah, so it's difficult, and but it is what it is, and with the media stuff as well, I'll always do it until I don't want to do it. Yeah. I don't do it because I have to. I do it because I enjoy it, and as soon as that enjoyment goes, then I.
And again, lots of students here today. If they want to come and work for you at Purnell's, what do they have to do?
Just send your CV in. I'm sure this young man would like to come and work for me, wouldn't you? He hates me, doesn't he? He really hates me. And that's the start of a great relationship. You know that, especially in the culinary world. I hate him. He's so big and mean. Shut up! Right, okay. We do not condone any violence in kitchens, by the way. Just outside when they leave, yeah? Right, so the monkfish is ready. So we're going to put the
put them on there, mate.
Carrots are coming up.
Yep.
And then the lentils now, we're going to be finished with... We don't need all them, do we?
So are you judging Great British Menu this year, Glynn?
No, to be fair, I've stepped down from that, to be honest with you. Yeah, because I'm bored of asking the same questions. So I just thought I'm not going to do it anymore. Are you happy with that? Glynn, what will happen if he cooked the fish too long? Well, it's overcooked, isn't it? I mean, what do you want me to say? He ain't going to go through, is he? No, so I've stopped that. Because he was driving me insane. So I've stopped that. We're ready to go? I need a small pan for that batch, to be fair.
What's that? Okay, so we're going to be starting to plate up very shortly. So hopefully you can see all that on the screens in front of you. No?
So Luke, tell us the process we've got going on there.
Okay, so we're just finishing the lentils with the finely diced chilli from young Andrew here. And his...
Can we get that on the overheads?
Really?
It's chopped
Bit
mint
fine,
and
Sandra.
chopped coriander.
We're going to fall out here. I can see it live. The world's going to see us fall out. Hey, we've only been together for a couple of, 20 minutes? 20 minutes, how are you counting, are you? No, you put the phone down. No, you put the phone down. Right, okay. How's that, Andrew? See the things that wiggle, yeah?
Has anyone
Don't
else
put
got
them.
any questions for Glynn or Luke?
No, they don't want to know. They don't even know why they're watching.
We can bribe you with a mug. This gentleman got a mug.
I got a mug as well.
Glynn's got a mug.
I got a mug.
I have to save one for Luke tipping. He tweeted me saying, make sure I've got a new mug.
Well, he says it all the time. He's going to make 15, 20 mugs in his kitchen.
I know.
Tight get. Buy one. I was going to wear my apron, which is here. Where's my apron? Oh, we burnt it, didn't we? No, Luke's wearing the apron. There, look, see? They wanted me to wear it, but it would have been sort of like up here. And mini skirts ain't for me. Well, wearing them's not for me.
So what are we doing now, chefs? What we got on the go?
Just finishing the lentils, as I say. The chili and the herbs, lime juice goes in at the end, because you put it in the beginning, then your herbs will go brown. So we're just finishing the finishing touches to the dish.
Ready to go? You happy with that? Yep.
Yeah, you're
Well, pop it in there for me. Yep.
So what we'll do is we're going to get one of our team from UCB. We'll get some of the lentils into some sample pots, and you can have a taste.
And if you do die, it's not our fault.
On a very serious note, okay?
On a very serious note, if you do die, it's not my fault, yeah?
The amount of health and
His
safety
fault.
we have to go through to put one of these on is unbelievable, okay? If you have a food allergy, don't eat the bloody food.
If you're allergic to fish, don't eat the monkfish.
In all seriousness, if you have any food allergy, do not eat anything that we're sending out, okay? It's unbelievable the amount of paperwork we have to do to get this on.
Yes,
But to
Do you
bring
know
an audience in to watch this guy cook and then not eat his food, in my mind, is daft. So
What I like in the restaurant, Mark, is when they say, have you any allergies? Yes, I'm highly allergic to nuts, okay? Do you have your pen with you? No. All right, well, you're going to die, aren't you? Yeah, if you're allergic to nuts, carry your pen, please. Out there, carry your pen. Right, ready, Luke? Should we dress?
Ready.
All
okay,
right,
we've got some sample pots there, guys. We can get some of this into the audience. They're coming?
Okay.
Cool. And is that a normal portion size there, Glynn?
No, it's a tasting menu. So normally you'd have this part of a 6 or a 9 course menu.
Okay.
So we cook it in. So for instance, a table of 4, you'd cook it in a piece like that. Table of 2, you cook it in a piece like that because you want to cook it as big as possible, really, to get that nice cooking degree. So you can see you can see the spice has gone all the way around. It's got a beautiful little rainbow colour.
Oh, okay. All right. Can we put some of that into something so they can take it out of the back? You got another little...
Yeah.
Right.
No, use that.
Don't try and pinch my dish either.
No, that's not going out.
I know where you live, all of you. They're tough today, aren't they? Come on. Hey, don't ever ask me to do it at 11 o'clock again. They'll be half cut by at 12, be enjoying themselves. Right, ready?
Ready.
What we do? How many are we doing? 1 or 2?
Just one plate there, and then I'll dress this one.
You dress that one,
Yeah.
yeah? Okay, right. So
We thought you'd wake them up.
that's why you got me in, innit? Hey, I'm like a warm-up act. Who's following me?
Dom.
Good luck with that. So we just.
So talk us through what's going on the plate there, chef.
So we just got the coriander sauce on there. We got our carrots, which are cooked in Vadavan, which is the French masala. Again, we'd use these for the vegetarian taste as well.
So you said this was part of a tasting menu, Glynn.
Yes,
What,
it's
what
part
does a tasting menu cost at Purnell's?
6 courses is
68.
Was it, Luke?
68.
68, and then
9 courses, 88.
88, yeah.
That's great value, isn't it? Bear in mind the tax man's going to take 20% of that off you, so...
Yeah. It's true, though.
Yeah, no, it is, yeah.
And then my agent gets 12%. I might just stop. Right, okay, so again with some of the lentils on the side. And then the monkfish. Who's the heckling going on? All right. On there. And then we've got our carrots, which are
Take them. So, yeah.
Indian pickled carrots, but they don't use vinegar to pickle things. They use, well, it's like fermenting, really. So we've been doing these for years. These are about 3 months old, these are. So they're basically, we put lots of different spices. We dry the carrots out, bring the spices up in the oil, let that slightly cool, then we pour it over the carrots, and they're fermented for about 3 months. So we used to put them in kiln jars, but they kept exploding. Remember? so now we do them in plastic cups. So, and also for those chefs out there that well, some chefs take the piss because we use tweezers, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'd rather use tweezers than my great big giant fingers. Paul Foster, was it Aaron Mullins from the Hands and Flowers? They're tweezers. Yeah. Use them. Saying that you can't put chips on with tweezers, can you? There we are. I hope he's watching. Great thing is, I know 3 different martial arts, so I don't really care. And then,
how are you doing on those lentils for the audience? They coming out? Yeah.
Do you want to put some of the what product is that? Sorry.
Sorry.
With this product here? Oh, it's Westlands. Right. Okay, young man. Do you want to use the tweezers? Do you want to be a tweezer wanker like me? Come on. So I want to just put 2 or 3 little pieces on there for me. All right.
Can I just move those bits of monkfish off? Just
Yeah.
so yeah.
Cheers. Yes. Thanks, Mark. How's that looking? Happy with that? And these tweezers are made in Birmingham. My friend here from Heritage. So if you're going to see a stand over the back. Are you ready? Brilliant job.
Great job.
Start Monday, yeah? So there we have. Oh, yeah, a little bit of curry oil as well there. And this, again, he's not rocket science. It's basically a mild curry powder, and it's infused, brought up to temperature, and infused for 3 or 4 hours, and it just makes the perfect curry oil. It's not rocket science. It is what it is. And then we just have a little dribble like that.
You can't do that when they're live on stage, mate. Thanks.
You done it? Yep. And there we go. That is my take on a fish balti, believe it or not. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Glynn Purnell, Luke Butcher. Okay, we're going to have some of the lentils come around to the audience in a minute.
Nice.
None of you are going to get to eat this until you ask some questions, so don't make a move. So who's got a question you'd like to ask Glynn or Luke? Okay. So the way it's going to work is you're going to say your name and then ask this gentleman a question.
My name's Harry.
Look into that, Harry, you can hear you.
My name's Harry. Can I have some?
Can you have some of that?
Yeah.
That's your question.
That's not a
Did
question.
you dare him to say that?
Because you know what the answer's going to be. Nobody want to ask a question.
Who's got a question for Glynn?
Inside
Yes.
leg.
Go on then.
Are you starstruck by any other chefs? Like,
Starstruck. No, they're
Yeah.
starstruck when they see me. That's what happens.
I see.
You knew that was coming. Come on. No, to be honest with you, when I cooked on the Great British Menu the first time, I got to cook it Heston's his development kitchen, and I was pretty starstruck when that, because I think the guy's a walking legend, you know. And I cooked with Gordon Ramsay in 1996. I did stage at the Aubergine, which was fantastic. And when he came through the door, yeah, you can imagine when you meet the man when you're 20 years old and he walks in. Yeah, it's like that.
He's been working out recently as well, isn't he, Gordon?
Yeah, I can see a celebrity fight coming on. You can see, can't you? Who's
Okay,
next?
Lady
No
at the
one?
back. Yep.
At the back.
Again, if you can just introduce yourself and then ask Glynn the question, please.
Hi, my name's Jane. My question is about the carrots.
Yes.
Is it just fermented in oil and spices?
Yes. You bring up the you slice your carrots. You dry them out, 'cause obviously when you slice them, they're going to be quite moist.
Yeah.
So you dry them out on towels. Leave them on top of the oven or somewhere where you can
dry.
get that. Yeah. And then basically you bring up all the spices in the oil, so they're completely submerged in the oil, and that's it. And just let nature take its course, and they become acidic by fermenting in the spices.
Okay. You can do that with any vegetables?
Carrots, we've done it with parsnips.
Yep, and parsnips.
Obviously, you just got to look at the water content.
Beetroot.
Beetroot, yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Cabbage, obviously, rather than doing it like sauerkraut, you could do like a spice version. That'd be quite nice.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Menu idea.
That's a new menu idea there, guys. I said it first.
There you go. Thank you. Right, one more. Any other questions? Put your hands up. Dom.
Glynn,
Hello there, Tom.
How
You're
you
on
doing?
next, are you?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Good looking dish. What did the judges rate it, and how did you get on in the competition?
My first time I got 3 straight 10s. This was, I don't know why this didn't get a 10 to be honest with you, but I think I got 2 10s and a 9, and it went to the banquet. So I cooked it for the troops with, Nigel did the main course, Sean did the pudding, and Kenny Atkinson did the starter. And it was, to be fair, It was a fantastic 2 days. And every time I've done it, I've had a fantastic time. And this one particularly, when we went out and seen some of these guys that have, been to Afghanistan, have been to Iraq and stuff, it was very humbling, to be honest with you. Really, it was quite an emotional couple of days. It was fantastic.
A few years ago as well, wasn't it?
2009, I think.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dom. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Okay, so if you can introduce yourself and then ask the question to Glynn, please. They're warming up now, Chef, aren't they?
Yeah. There's 3 samples of drinks going out now, is it? Huh?
After the drinks then.
Oh, yeah.
Use much of the micro herbs.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Stuart. Do you use much of micro herbs, and are they usually available?
Yeah, I mean we do. I mean the problem with micro herbs, they can really do wonders to a dish. But then if you overuse them on everything, it's like the modern day chervil a little bit. So you can get them from Westlands, which are over there now, and we use them obviously but it's about using being a little bit restrained with them as well. So taste them rather than just throw them on. I think you can fall into that trap. But no, they're a great product. There's some fantastic, weird and wonderful sort of bits out there as well. So yeah.
Anyone
Thanks,
else
Stuart.
got any other questions? Yes, sir. Thank you. So again, if you can introduce yourself and then ask Glynn the question.
Hello, my name's Lewis. Who was the most influential chef on your career?
In my career, nice beard, Lewis, by the way. I'm loving your work, yeah. Me, I worked with Andrea Santona for a long time, and he was very inspirational because he used to push me and sort of try and get me to see other things. I went to France 2 or 3 times, worked in northern Spain, and that was through his support. Influential, Claude Bosey, probably the most impact on a short amount of time spent with him. I think he's possibly one of the best cooks around. The guy's got a natural talent, the understanding of produce, and I think I say he's the best chef in the country, by a mile.
Any other questions? One more question, okay.
They are livening up, aren't they now?
Yeah, they are now.
I seen one of them small earlier. I hope you got that online.
Again, if you can introduce yourself and then ask Glynn the question.
Hi, my name's Lewis.
Lewis?
When did you start your career? Did you start at college or did?
Yeah, so basically, I got work experience here. I got on the wrong bus and ended up at a hotel, and the hotel was better than here. So I stayed in Purnell, it was called then, and I was sat in there for about 3 hours, and we're going to have to go home now because you're not supposed to be here. But then they rang the school, and then eventually I got a job there. So I was 14, and I was working nearly every night after school, and I just become obsessed with it, and I still am. And I went through an apprenticeship. I kept asking the chef for an apprenticeship, so I got an apprenticeship, and then I went to Simpsons, and then I haven't looked back really.
It's just led on from there.
Sorry?
And it's just led on from there.
Yeah, it's just hard work, and it was just a case of I just got obsessed with cooking. Got obsessed with coming up with ideas, and some of them work, some of them never. And I just think it's such a fantastic industry, and you can go from I'm off Chelmsford, I'm off on a steak, about 10 minutes over the back. Foie gras I thought was a French word. I thought it was swearing in French. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then to be 18 years old and be exposed to that, and then just work hard, and then look what can happen. It's there if you want it. You just got to go and grab it.
Thank you.
Great question, thank you. Right, time for one more. Last question before we let Glynn go. Yes, gentlemen at the front here. If you're going to ask me what can you eat that, then I'm going to eject you.
Hi, my name's Jake. What's the most embarrassing situation you've had in the kitchen?
Oh, brilliant question.
Yeah, well,
how long have you got?
Probably when I slept with my mother-in-law. What are you laughing at? It's all sorted now. No. It's embarrassing. You got it. Oh, come on, you got to have that one, ain't you? As in what? As in cooking? Something's gone wrong, or it happens every day. I don't know. I think it's we've sent stuff out to the wrong table. I don't know. I don't really know. You ever think of any, Luke?
No, not really embarrassing.
Not embarrassing.
No.
I split my trousers the once.
Yeah, probably that.
Probably
yeah,
that.
bending over, split trousers.
What's the most awkward customer or the most awkward request you've had?
There's one thing was really funny. So the egg creme brulee in the eggshell, right? It's actually in my book, the stories. And not that I'm plugging the book, by the way. I've got a warehouse full of them. So basically, the egg comes out in the shell, right? And then you basically crack the top with the sugar, and then you eat the egg, and then you discard the shell. Yeah. I walked past, and there was a table of 3. I walked past as I went into the kitchen, and then I seen the one guy took the egg, put it on his plate, smashed it, and then just ate the whole thing with the shell. So then
they all done it.
And then all
of them done it.
the 3 of them did it. And then what I did was I opened the kitchen door to look, and they were going. I was thinking, and then I said to Sony, who's my restaurant manager, who said he was going to be here today.
He did. We got him a pass.
Yeah, he said he was going to be here today. And what's he going to do, Luke?
He's in bed.
Why?
He probably just got in.
He's probably just got in, yeah. Sony's a bit rock and roll. And then I said to Sony, Sony, I said, what's happening with the egg? The egg? I said, Chef, they said it was wonderful. The texture on the outside was amazing. So that is probably one of the most, really?
Good sugar work.
Okay, thank you. Great question. Thank you very much. Okay, right, just before we let Luke go.
Yeah, ask Luke a question. He's a pastry chef, by the way. He's cooking meat and fish here. He's a brilliant pastry chef, and I've got him up here cooking.
The most watched man on our YouTube channel. This man is here. The most watched man on our YouTube. Okay, just before these gentlemen go, before you go, please have a visit around the sponsor stands, Westland, Chef's Works, Calabar. Go and have a visit with those. Big thank you to Clifton for the use of their water bath. They're just over there. Ladies and gentlemen, an amazing monkfish dish. Put your hands together. Glynn Purnell, Luke Butcher.
Thank you. Cool, thanks.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, I need to do a selfie. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for coming. We're going to start clearing down now. We've got Dominic Chapman coming up at 12 o'clock. Glynn's going to do an interview for us over here. I'm sure if some of you want some photos taken with Glynn and Luke, they'll be more than happy to do so. But we'll be stripping down now and getting ready for Dominic Chapman, who's coming on at 12.